Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Michael Corinthos has always been considered the golden boy of the Quartermaine family, the son who despite his mob ties still carried the Quartermaine bloodline proudly. For years fans assumed that if Monica ever put her estate in writing, Michael would be at the top of the list of beneficiaries. But the most recent whispers coming out of General Hospital spoilers suggest a bombshell that no one saw coming. The legendary Quartermaine matriarch has stunned her family with a shocking decision in her will. Instead of Michael, who was widely expected to inherit the Quartermaine mansion, Monica has turned everything upside down by naming Ronnie as the surprising heir to the iconic property. The Quartermaine mansion has always been a central piece of Port Charles history. It is more than a home. It's a symbol of the family's wealth, dysfunction, and tradition. Every holiday gathering, every dramatic confrontation, every scheme seems to circle back to the grand estate that has housed decades of General Hospital drama. For Michael to be cut out of this inheritance, and for Ronnie to suddenly be vaulted into Quartermaine power, leaves everyone asking the same question. Why did Monica do this? Spoilers indicate that Monica's will reading sends shockwaves not only through the family, but through all of Port Charles. Michael, who has spent years trying to prove he belongs both in the mob world with Sonny and Carly, and in the Quartermaine world with Ned, Tracy, and the rest, now finds himself humiliated. The sense of entitlement he carried, the belief that he would eventually be recognized as the rightful Quartermaine heir, has been shattered. Instead, Ronnie, who has not always had the smoothest relationship with the family, suddenly holds the keys to the mansion that Michael thought would be his. This decision raises countless questions. Was Monica punishing Michael for his loyalty to Sonny and his willingness to put mob business above Quartermaine business? Did she see in Ronnie a figure who could actually preserve the Quartermaine legacy without being distracted by Corinthos' drama? Or was there something deeper at play, some last-minute decision made in the final days of Monica's life that no one in the family anticipated? The spoilers suggest that Michael's reaction is filled with anger, disbelief, and a deep sense of betrayal. For someone who has fought so hard to balance his Quartermaine and Corinthos identities, this decision feels like a rejection of his bloodline. Monica was the last living pillar of the Quartermaine family, the one person who could still bridge the gap between old traditions and new generations. By overlooking Michael and giving the mansion to Ronnie, she essentially rewrites the Quartermaine legacy. Fans know that Michael has never been without resources. His ties to Sonny mean that financially he's secure. But it's not about money. The mansion represented legitimacy. It represented that no matter what paths he took, he was still a Quartermaine at his core. Without it, Michael feels stripped of that symbolic connection. And even more troubling, his cousins and rivals will never let him live this down. Ned and Tracy, for example, are likely to see Monica's decision as final proof that Michael was never truly meant to be a leader within the Quartermaine dynasty. Ronnie, on the other hand, faces an entirely different set of challenges. Being handed the Quartermaine mansion is not a prize without strings. The family is notoriously difficult, filled with backstabbing, power plays, and constant scheming. Monica's decision thrusts Ronnie into the spotlight, making him the target of resentment from nearly everyone else in the family. Michael might be the most openly hostile, but Tracy, Ned, Brooklyn, and even outsiders like Drew will all have opinions about Ronnie suddenly sitting on top of Quartermaine property. Will Ronnie prove himself worthy? Or will he become just another Quartermaine pawn caught in a never-ending battle for control? There are hints that Monica's will may contain more surprises than just the mansion transfer. Viewers know that Monica has seen years of family turmoil, and she may have deliberately used her will to try and force reconciliation, or even revenge, depending on how you interpret it. Cutting Michael out of the mansion could be her way of holding him accountable for his choices. But it could also be a play to spark change in the younger generation. Maybe Monica believes Ronnie can stand up to the Quartermaine infighting in a way Michael never could. Or perhaps she simply wanted to send one last message about loyalty and family values. Michael's heartbreak is expected to play out in full view, and spoilers hint that his relationship with Willow could be deeply impacted. Michael will likely vent to her about the betrayal, about how after everything he has done to protect family honor, he was still dismissed. Willow will probably remind him that material possessions don't define family. But for Michael, who has always struggled to feel accepted, the rejection cuts deep. Willow's attempts to soothe him may not be enough to stop him from plotting retaliation against Ronnie. If Michael does go after Ronnie, the mansion could become the center of a new Quartermaine war. Michael has the resources and influence to fight legally, to claim that Monica was not in her right mind when she signed the will, or to drag the family through a courtroom battle. And given the Quartermaine tradition, courtroom battles over inheritance are practically a rite of passage. But Ronnie may not back down easily. He could surprise everyone by showing determination, by standing firm and refusing to be intimidated by Michael's wealth or mob connections. If that happens, Michael could find himself losing not only the mansion but also the moral high ground. Meanwhile, other family members will use this rift for their own gain. Tracy has always been quick to exploit family drama. She might side with Ronnie, not because she truly supports him, but because it keeps Michael from consolidating too much power. Ned, who has always balanced family loyalty with practical leadership, might see Ronnie as a potential stabilizer, someone who could keep the mansion intact while Michael continues to get pulled into mob wars. Brooklyn may find herself caught in the middle, sympathetic to Michael's pain but also wary of what his bitterness could unleash. Also tease that the will reading could include hidden clauses, possibly giving Michael smaller inheritances or conditions that he must meet to gain certain assets. If Monica tied Michael's inheritance to leaving Sonny's world behind, this could explain her decision. Perhaps she wanted to push him toward the Quartermaine way of life once and for all. But if Michael refuses to abandon Sonny, then the mansion is lost to him forever. This kind of twist would not only add to the drama but force Michael to confront where his true loyalties lie. There's also speculation that Monica may have written her will while under influence or persuasion. Could someone have gotten to her, pushing her to favor Ronnie over Michael? Tracy has always been crafty enough to orchestrate manipulations behind the scenes. If she somehow influenced Monica's final decisions, Michael may eventually uncover the scheme. And when he does, the fallout could reignite classic Quartermaine warfare. For now, though, the spotlight is firmly on Michael's devastation. The look on his face when he realizes Ronnie gets the mansion instead of him is expected to be one of the most dramatic reveals in months. Fans who have watched Michael grow up, who saw him shift from a child torn between families into a man still battling divided loyalties, will find this storyline especially powerful. It's the ultimate reminder that in Port Charles, blood ties don't guarantee loyalty or reward. Sometimes the person you least expect ends up on top. Ronnie's journey moving forward will be fascinating. Will he rise to the occasion and protect the Quartermaine estate as Monica hoped? Will he crumble under the pressure and lose everything to Michael's wrath? Or will new alliances form that no one anticipated? General Hospital spoilers promise that the mansion, once again, will be the setting for fights, heartbreaks, and betrayals that ripple across every family in Port Charles. As the dust settles, fans should prepare for a long and messy fallout. Michael's resentment is not going away anytime soon. Ronnie's sudden power will draw enemies from all directions. And the legacy of Monica Quartermaine will live on, not through the golden boy she nurtured, but through a surprising heir whose every step will now be watched. The will reading has changed everything, and Port Charles will never be the same again. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.